Yo, what's up, man? Y'all know what time it is, Mr. J Hill Podcast. We here. Man, I don't even know how to introduce this guy. I mean, a little bit of everything. Music producer.
Yep.
The son of a legend.
That you know now.
Owner and creator of Fanbase.
Yes.
I mean, this guy right here, this is somebody that you should know. And if you don't know, you about to get to know him. Shout out to Mr. Isaac Hayes in the building. What up, dog? How you doing, brother?
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for pulling up, man.
Thank you for having me, man. This is a wonderful spot.
Thank you.
I love it, man.
Thank you, brother.
I love young entrepreneurship.
I had to convince myself of loving it. Because I didn't want to do it.
Why not?
A little bit of pride.
Really?
A little bit of look, still pride. A lot of pride then.
Throw pride away. Pride is...
Yeah, but when you're interviewing people like I interview, it's like you don't want them to pull up to this.
Bruh.
It look good though. They don't know. They don't know.
This is a media... You're building a media empire.
Mm.
You can do it from a cell phone now.
Facts.
You could do it you could do these in a car.
Yeah. Yo, can we have some fun a little bit real quick?
Sure.
Joe Budden said something on his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you answered the question. It wasn't a question. But he said something, but I don't know if you ever said yes or no.
Okay.
I think he said, I know Isaac Hayes be getting pussy off of his father's name.
Oh, yeah. No, that was hilarious. No, I don't.
Why not?
I never have. No, I didn't want to. So, okay, first things first, I'm a Gemini.
Me too.
So Geminis got egos.
Facts.
And so I don't want anybody to tell me that somebody helped me do something.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I started producing music, I could have easily been Isaac Hayes III as a producer, right?
Yeah.
I had the name Ike Dirty. So I didn't want to get into the music industry off the name of my father. I wanted people to buy my records, rap to my records, sing to my records based off the record and not who my dad was.
We going to get the fan base and everything else in a second.
Yeah.
But boy, if this ain't a conversation already.
Yeah, what's up?
Why do we do that as black people? That's Bronny James, right?
Yeah.
People talk about what is it? Nepotism.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that's the point. Like I work my ass off so my family can reap the benefits.
100%. I don't have a problem with passing down wealth and businesses to your family. So my dad say, hey, take over the family business. That's one thing. But as an individual that's building something of your own, you still want to feel like you put in the work. And I know Bronny feels the same way. Like
100%.
That's what I'm saying. He's not number one, his dad taught him how to play basketball. He saw his dad play basketball. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to make the assumption that the only reason that Bronny James is on a team is because his dad is LeBron James. I won't do that. I'll still say that the opportunity to play at the level that he can play at, because you can always improve and get better. Mm-hmm. And so he already, in my opinion, when he did the combine, I think he came in like second. Mm-hmm. Out of all the people that did the NBA combine, he was scoring and shooting and all this kind of stuff. And so he's gonna have people don't understand that he has the pressure and the weight of living up to his dad while trying to play the game of basketball. LeBron James never had that.
Yeah, 100%.
He just got to come on the court and be nasty from day one with the headband.
Facts. I only say that because I feel like we do that in so many places. Like rappers, you hear their sons be like, man, nah, I don't wanna get help from my dad, or I don't want him to co-sign me. I wanna make a name for myself. And that's cool, but it's like, bro, the system is in place for you to be able to walk through the door that your dad or your mother opened for you.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Is it better to be on top, or is it better to be in second place?
Man, where we come from, I'm learning that second place just might be okay.
No, second place is better.
Here's
why. I'm going to tell you why. Because there is no competition if you're in first. Ain't nobody chasing you. You're not chasing nobody.
Right.
Everybody chasing you. So for Michael Johnson to set records in track and field, Usain Bolt has somebody like, I got to beat that.
Yeah.
And now these next kids coming up like, I got to beat Usain Bolt. That's how people improve. So if you a kid that just, or anybody in any type of business that just gets, anointed into the position without having to work for it, you don't really build strength. Adversity builds character. So it should be hard. It does. I mean, listen, if you want, now there's no problem that if you want to build, a business and generational wealth for your family so they never have to work, but some people want to work. I've always been a worker. I've been doing odd jobs and raking leaves and cleaning pools and help people move since I was 9 years old. So I've always wanted to make my own money and be my own businessman. So nothing was ever gonna get in the way of that. So I don't, like I said, I like where Fanbase is. I like being in the underdog position because I got my eyes on these other guys because I was like, okay, I can do that. And on top of that, I know that our culture creates those ideas, so it's something good to aim for. I like that.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay to be like wanting to build your own and do that. I understand. I know some people rest on that. Like, do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is? Like, I'm not one of them. Oh, man. No.
See, I was like that, but I'm learning to like just accept the help wherever I can get it. Cause I definitely was like, I'm gonna make my own name. Like even when I cross, I'm a Q or whatever, I never really used the fraternity thing to my benefit. Yeah. And I'm thinking about it like, bro, what was I thinking? Why not? Like it's right there.
Well, those are dope though. Fraternities, like I say this, I got a little brother that's going to Morehouse in the fall. Morehouse is a fraternity in itself. Yeah. That's how you get jobs. That's how you like, yo, I know somebody do you know somebody that's, oh man, my kid is sick. Do you know a doctor? Yeah, my doctor's in frat. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. And so you're building community and family with organizations like that. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. Greeks, that's dope.
So you don't look at the same with getting ass?
No.
Hey, that's the whole point. My dad is Isaac Hayes. I mean,
but what is that? So how does that?
I mean, not now. You're a grown ass man. I'm joking.
I know, but what I'm saying is, how does that teach me? If I do that, how does that teach me? Okay, so no shade what I'm about to say, but have you ever heard that a lot of like NBA players are not really like fly, or like they kind of corny?
I can see that
because they're really good at basketball, so they don't have to exercise communication skills. Yeah. Some sort of swag, like what cologne to wear, what restaurant to go to. It's just everything is like money. And
as the kids would say, they don't have no riz.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, right. So my point is like for me, like I wanted to learn the art of communication to be an effective communicator. I used to be terribly shy and afraid to talk to girls when I was like in my like late teens, early 20s. And I snapped out of it and said, no won't kill you. And then I wanted to be able to communicate with women because I feel like it's more intimidating to communicate with women than it is to communicate with Fortune 500 companies. When you like a girl, that's a lot more rejection from a woman sometimes can be as men like, dang, man, shawty just shut me down, right? So I wanted to be like, yo, I don't ever want to be intimidated by a woman because if I'm not intimidated by women, I'm not intimidated by nobody. I can talk to any, any Fortune 500 CEO or whatever. I'm cool because knowing how to talk to women is another level of cool. And a lot of those guys don't know how to do that. So they're still kind of like uncomfortable, like, yeah, I'm a CEO, but hey, that's why they want to hang out with her. That's why all the tech dudes want to hang out with all the athletes and entertainers because they trying to get the riz.
Yeah, they trying to get
right. But if you build your own riz, you don't gotta
hang out with nobody. Yeah. Okay, so you never use your name to get no ass. We have it. We got it. I was just curious. I wanted to know that. I seen that clip. I'm like, I want to know. Yo, Fanbase is there. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen this, and I don't know why not. Yo, how was the relationship with you and your pops? How was I don't think.
So my dad filed for bankruptcy the year before I was born. So he was a very successful singer. Got screwed out of a lot of money. My parents were married 2 years before I was born. They were married for 14 years. They got divorced when I was like 9. And we moved to Atlanta when I was 3. My dad also had other children from previous marriages. So I already came into a big family. I got 9 other brothers and sisters. I'm sorry, 10 other brothers and sisters. My dad was married 4 times and had 3 baby mamas, I think.
So he was a real Rolling Stone.
He was Isaac Hayes, man. He was out here doing it in the 70s, so that's 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And so, but I wound up having his name being, one of the only boys that he had, and so I know that I had this a special relationship with him because I was his namesake. And there's a lot of things my dad taught me, but again, being busy and a man that's trying to rebuild his career when we came to Atlanta, that was tough. So I didn't always see my dad, but when my parents got divorced, I mean, I don't know, people's parents get divorced, it's like, all right, you see your dad on holidays or you'll go stay with him for a couple months in the summer. Like, that's how my relationship was with my dad. But I always learned so much from him, and even these short spurts of time that I would spend together every year, we might have a conversation about the music business. We'll have a conversation about girls and sex. He'd be like, look, man, I always wear a condom. There's some stuff out there that have you come back glowing in the dark. Like, that's how he told me about using protection, stuff like that. So, in this deep voice, like, look, man, I'll tell you something, don't go out here, da-da-da-da-da. So, it was a great relationship. I think it just taught me a lot. And it was in something else that I say is, I think that, and this is something that I think I want people to know that haven't had relationships with their fathers or their mothers. I also think you're a lot more like your parents from the people that they were, like genetically, without even being around them. Like, unfortunately, my dad passed away when my little brother, who is now 18 years old, was like 2. But he has some of my dad's mannerisms, some of his characteristics, laugh, smile. It's just so many things that are just inherited genetically. I think you're more like your parents by who the people they were as opposed to what they teach you. It's literally like you pass that genetic code on.
And you can't even help it.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, so you being a producer, right? You said you didn't want to use your dad's name, but did you even learn how did that happen? Because that seems you are more like your parents than what they teach you.
Yeah.
Was that something that you would say is like genetics? Because you came up, you produced some songs with real life celebrities.
Right.
Like,
but no,
like,
so
it ain't just like some Joe Smo out here.
No, I know, but for me, they kept me around music. So in elementary school, I played the saxophone. In middle school, I played the trombone. In high school, I played trombone and drums. And so they kept instruments around me. And then I would learn to play piano by hand and stuff like that. And my mom would tell my dad, he's starting to do this. Hey, buy me this keyboard. And then I'd master that. And they buy me this bigger keyboard and I master that. And then it came to the time where when I graduated high school, I left high school early because high school wasn't for me. Like, I had enough credits to graduate, so I left in like February my senior year. I didn't go to prom. I wasn't necessarily connected to my classmates because my mind was always on what is my future, because I knew I wasn't going to college. And on top of that, that's when A Different World was on TV. So you were destined to be a loser if you did not go to college. Like, my mom says you're gonna be a nobody because you don't have a top college degree. I'm like, damn, I'm out here like, yo. So musically, I went and got a 9-to-5 job. My mom would tell my dad, like, yo, he just bought this piece of equipment, XYZ. And then I quit my job. And I think my mom told my dad, like, all right. And then one of my dad's good friends that lived here in Atlanta, he showed up at the house with like a whole bunch of old ass equipment. I'm talking about like a mixing board from the 70s, some speakers, tape deck, handed it to me. He went out and got me like a couple pieces of equipment, like musical equipment, and that was it. And then the rest was history. And I started learning how to produce records. That was like my college. Those 4 years from like 96 to like 2000 was like my 4 years of learning how to produce and make records and learn about the business.
So wait, how old were you when your pops passed?
It was 2008, so I'd have been 33.
Wait, hold up. Wait a second. So you was a grown man.
Yeah.
Yo, how, like, after your dad moved to Atlanta, he trying to like revamp his career, you said, what was he going through? Do you remember, like, because even then, he was already who he was.
He was already who he was, but
I'm pretty sure to him, he probably wasn't able to see it. Or I'm curious.
What do you mean? Like it definitely was a step down. Because you gotta remember, like, Stax Records filed for bankruptcy on my dad like $14 million in 74. If you pull out an inflation calculator, 74. It's like $90 million. Yeah. It's like some crazy, like 60, 80, $90 million in 2024. So imagine like an artist like Usher going to label like, yo, y'all owe me $90 million in royalties. Like, yeah, we ain't got it. And we filed for bankruptcy. So it was a hit. So then my dad made an album on a new label and it went gold. Had a hit record. We moved to Atlanta, whole new career, whole new thing. So it was a restart, but that still always that hurt him because he was loyal to a lot of people, and they shit on him.
Yo, it's crazy how we all go through the same shit. It's like it just life itself is just recycled over and over again. Cause like again, so for y'all that don't know, I had a clip that went viral when I was like, I didn't know who Isaac Hayes is. But funny enough, I asked a few other people, and they was like, they didn't know either.
Right.
And I look back on it, and I'm like, yo, after me doing my research, I'm like, yo, this is probably one of the most influential artists of our time. Not even our time, just
in music.
In general.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking about influences, for what we know, samples, right? A lot of the music that we listen to is sampled by Isaac Hayes' original music, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we talk about legacy, and those are the things that you can't really measure when you hear or you won't know. And I'm thinking like a man that's moving to Atlanta, you're Isaac Hayes, you don't know what's about to happen.
Right.
Right? But you are you.
Oh yeah.
But he's probably still going through things like just everyday person, like, man, I'm trying to make it, I'm trying to get this money. Yeah. And like after me doing my research, you would never think that somebody like that would ever have those thoughts.
I mean, we're human.
Right, yeah.
We all gonna have, man, please, come on. We all gonna have, we're human. Celebrities are human beings. They have insecurities. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They have issues, you know what I'm saying? They can get depressed. They can, be afraid a lot, you know what I'm saying? Pride, what we were talking about, like that kind of stuff. So it's all possible. I mean, when it comes to the legacy conversation, I think this is an important conversation that we need to have, because what I talk about all the time is that the gift and the curse of Black culture is that we're so innovative, we do things and then cast them away and move on. Mm. So I'm gonna tell you right now, like, we don't uphold Black culture. And what I mean by that is, this is a simple test. Anybody that ever sees this podcast, right? I want you to do this. Is a simple test. The next time you're in the grocery store or a bookstore, go to the magazine section, right? At all times, you will see 1 of 4 people always on the magazine cover. Mm. I promise you. You ready? Babe Ruth, Ronald Reagan, John Wayne, or Elvis Presley. They'll always be on a magazine cover. Because white culture is like, we're going to let you know who our icons were all the time. You'll walk in there and see Judy Garland and Marilyn Monroe and the Beatles. Mm. You don't walk in those. When the last time you walked in the grocery store and saw James Brown on a magazine cover, or Martin Luther King on a magazine cover? You don't. We only put ourselves on cover when it's like, oh, he got a drug problem, or he went to jail or whatever. But they're like, no, these are our icons. Mm. The level of respect and legacy we have, because we just make stuff and then we move on to the next thing. Everything with Black culture is the has-been, right? And I don't have a problem with that, because we are the innovators. That's our gift. We just like, okay, it's dope. We make hip hop and jazz and DJing and
on to the next.
And streetwear and whatever it is, cars, and all right, what's the next? So we just have to have those conversations in our culture, in our community, that we're gonna make sure that we, take Dorothy Dandridge and make her an icon just like Marilyn Monroe. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and these icons, James Brown, Isaac Hayes, Ray Charles, like, these are icons.
The innovation conversation.
Yeah.
I'm back and forth. Did Fanbase help you learn that? Because that's something that you can't create and go to the next. You kind of gotta be invested into this thing every day. Like, you can't just create Fanbase and be like, okay, I created an app, onto something else.
No, not at all. Because there's so much that goes into building a tech startup. But it's different because Fanbase is not only a tech startup, it's a social media platform in an era of social media that's evolving, that's changed. Because I'm a tech founder, but I can only speak about tech from the lens of social media. So you'll never hear me talk about fintech or, I'm not building no jet engines and, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. So my foray into tech came from the culture side, because I was looking at what Black people were doing. Mm. I just showed you a picture where I said the word IGTV 4 years before they made it. Yeah. And so that's kind of where my mind was going, like, yo, we need something that, like, Black culture is really the most, valuable culture on the planet. We invent everything. Like, I can't remember. I just read something the other day that made me go, it made me it was something else that was crazy that we invented.
But why you? Because I want to stay on this. The innovation conversation though.
Yeah.
Did that help you understand did that help you be patient with creating something and not throwing it away? Or you been already had this idea of like white people or we the only ones that create something and throw it away?
Yeah, I've had that. I've been had that.
Oh, okay.
I was saying, because I used to see that all the time. I'm like, why are we why don't we respect our icons? Like, we don't, like, I'm telling you, I'm in a magazine store, I'm like, man, why isn't Essence and Ebony putting like, you know what I'm saying? Why are they not putting Sidney Poitier on the cover, like the Sidney Poitier issue of all the great things he's done, or the Malcolm X issue, or the Martin Luther King issue? Like, why they ain't do that? Like, we don't, because how are you supposed to know about Isaac Hayes if we aren't perpetuating the legacy of Isaac Hayes? If it wasn't for sampling and South Park, people probably wouldn't know about my dad.
Yeah.
But Elvis Presley been dead since the 70s.
Yeah. And
they keep pushing his music, his image, his name, his likeness, everything about him. Right? And we don't do that. We gotta do that.
Damn. You own his catalog now, right?
We are slowly collecting and recapturing copyrights. So it's publishing. So in the music business, there's publishing, there's masters. So we've been slowly recapturing his publishing. The first chunk of publishing we just got back was when he was a songwriter. So my dad was a songwriter. My dad was a musician and a songwriter before he ever became an artist.
He wrote that one song with the two white guys that sing it. What's the name of the song?
What are you talking about? But but he did it on these other guys named Sam and Dave. So he wrote, Hold On, I'm Coming.
Come on,
and
man.
He wrote another song called Soul Man.
Soul Man, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, so Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Coming were written by Isaac Hayes and David Porter. And so he was a songwriter first, and he was one of the people that helped write and arrange a lot of the records on Stack. So if you hear like Try a Little Tenderness by Otis Redding, like the horn intro in the beginning and stuff like that, my dad came up with those arrangements because he was a self-taught musician. So my dad was a musical genius. My dad didn't know how to read. He learned how to read and then became salutatorian of his high school class. And then he only knew how to play the piano with two fingers and became this just genius piano player and songwriter producer. So he was a self-taught musician that was just, a phenom. And I say this all the time. He invented, this is real, and I hope people understand this, and you can research this for yourself, but he invented modern day R&B. So when you think of R&B, like, what do you think of?
So
the sound of R&B.
Again, I've done research on this, so it probably wouldn't be fair. But like soul.
Soul, but like so bass guitars, you know what I'm saying?
It's rhythm and blues.
Rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
But what else? So when you think of, what about strings and flutes?
I mean, that goes into soul.
No, that wasn't soul. See, before my dad, there was the Stack sound, and then there was the Motown sound. So you had like the Temptations and Smokey Robinson and Diana Ross, and their music was very poppy and light, and all these flutes and strings. And then down the south, you had Otis Redding and Isaac Hayes and the Staple Singers and Johnny Taylor, and it was all organs and bass and da-da-da-da-da. So when my dad made his first album, Hot Buttered Soul, his first critically acclaimed album, Hot Buttered Soul, he didn't even have, there was nobody, and if you listen to Walk On By, it's a big string intro. Sounds like a big orchestra playing at the beginning of it, right? It's an amazing intro. There were no string musicians in Memphis, so he had to take the reel and drive up to Detroit and record the strings in Detroit. So he took a rock guitar and an organ and put strings and flutes over it. Nobody ever did that before then. And now you can't imagine music without it. You can't imagine an R&B song without flutes. You can't imagine Mask Off by Future without that flute in it. You can't imagine the Shiznick with Snoop Dogg without that flute in it. That boop, boop, doo, 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 with them hard-ass drums. Isaac Hayes made that. Shaft, all these things that you see, like it was literally like the Bloods and the Crips, like that's the Motown sound.
He gets credited for that because when I looked at it, it says he was one of the people that created this. They call it Southern sound. I forgot the exact word.
I call it's called symphonic soul. So that means he was taking like so after Isaac Hayes, there was Curtis Mayfield and Barry White. So when you think of those Teddy Pendergrass and Gamble and Huff and all these records where they're using strings and flutes and all that kind of stuff, because Motown was like, we don't do that country ass R&B rhythm and blues. Barry Gordy was selling pop records. He was selling hits. And my dad was like, yo, but we can merge the two. And people used to say, nobody's ever gonna listen to that shit. Ain't nobody finna listen to no organs and a rock guitar with some strings and flutes on it. And they were like, okay. And he did it and then changed music. And now that is what modern day R&B is.
So that's crazy. So again, I have like spurts in the show where I just ask questions strictly from a fan perspective. So would you say you rich just off of his catalog alone?
Well, you got to remember, my dad lost those rights. So when my dad filed for bankruptcy, it's a crazy story, but the short version is he took out a loan for $2 million. Stacks owed him like 14. When Stacks filed for bankruptcy, he couldn't pay the $2 million back, so he defaulted on his loan. So they took ownership, so sometimes when you default on loans, they'll say the money coming in goes to us until we get paid back, and then you can start making money again. They didn't do that. They garnished the actual asset.
Oh,
so they took his writer's shares. This is before sampling. So this is in 74. For anybody who knew that was sampling was going to go on. So they took that. So what happened was then the bank that had it auctioned it off to two white guys, for $50,000 and the only people that showed up to the auction were those two white guys. So the fix was in. They were like, yo. So, I mean, my dad had $50,000 to go get his songwriter shares. He got $50,000. They auctioned him off for $50,000. He could have counted there and say, boom, let me get my shares back. Here's the thing. This is one of these moments, and I know that life is weird like this, but I wouldn't change it. I'm going to tell you why I wouldn't change it. And I said this before because at that time, my dad had left Memphis and we moved to LA. And if my dad would have kept his money, I would have grown up in Los Angeles, California. I'd have been friends with all the Jacksons and Lionel Richie and all them, and you know what I'm saying, Barry Go, all those people, right? And for me, my identity is so rooted in Atlanta. Like when we had to downgrade, Atlanta's where my mom said we're raising kids. And so coming here, it gave me my like culture. So the person that I am is because of my mom and my dad in the city of Atlanta. Without it, I guarantee I would have been some rich kid rapping Ferraris around trees on coke, doing all kind of crazy stuff. I'd have been a spoiled asshole. The struggle of coming up, you know, because my parents got divorced. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with my mom and my 2 sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I say this all the time. Like I slept in the bed with my mom through middle school, right? So I'm talking like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. You sharing the bed with your mom. Then when I got in high school, we got a 2-bedroom apartment. And my sister slept in the bed with my mom all through high school, and I had my own room because I was a boy. And that, like, people, and then all the time, people think you're rich while you're going to school. So it's like, man, Isaac Hayes, your dad, show you rich, you da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you know, you don't want to tell them that, yo, we really broke. You know, you keep it, but, so it built character. It always made me want to, like, earn and own and all that kind of stuff. So in that era where everybody sampled my dad's records, he probably missed out on $40, $50, $60 million. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear all these songs, so I'll name some songs that have sampled Isaac Hayes. So Can I Live by Jay-Z, Cream by Wu-Tang Clan.
Yep. Tupac.
Stranded on Death Row by Dr. Dre. Explosive by Dr. Dre. Hold on.
I hope you don't.
No. I got him. For the Record, I Love You, Mary J. Blige. It's so many records, man. Tupac, Me Against the World. Even to the point that
The Weeknd, Beyonce, Metro Boomin still.
No, listen. I'm telling you, listen. When
Erykah Badu.
When Apple Music came out with their greatest 100 albums of all time,
Yeah, I seen that video.
there's probably like 14 or so. And I even left out the white artists. They had Portishead on there. That album sampled Isaac Hayes. They had the Beastie Boys on there. They sampled Isaac Hayes. They had Massive Attack on there. They sampled Isaac Hayes. Like of the 100 albums, there's like 14 albums that sampled my dad. But Hot Butter Soul is not on the 100 greatest albums of all time. That's like, it's cool. But my point is, those are the things that we get missed in our culture. That if we're not highlighting and letting people know like where that stuff comes from, it just gets lost in the sauce, man. It gets lost.
But you say you working on getting
back.
back.
So we reclaimed that first batch of publishing, so it's back. Now, the Isaac Hayes era, so when my dad became a solo artist from 69 to 78, we about to get all that back. We about to file termination notices and take all that back. So that's Shaft, Hot Butter Soul, To Be Continued, Black Moses, the Isaac Hayes movement, Joy, Groovathon, Truck Turner, Shaft, Three Tough Guys. Like, we finna get all that back.
So I guess this wouldn't even be a good question, but I'm curious, in today's society, you have so many people who lease their they're publishing, and I mean you have people that sell it, but you have people that lease it as well.
Well, yeah, kind of.
I'm about to say you working so hard to get it back, you probably would never even let it go.
And here's a reason why. So people that sell their catalogs, and most of the people that do it, and I understand why they do it. I don't knock anybody that wants to sell their catalog. One big thing about people that sell their catalogs is they can still tour. So when I hear like Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake or Andre 3000 or Bruce Springsteen or whatever, they can sell their catalog, but they can hit the road and go make $30 million.
Okay.
Isaac Hayes is not here to do that. So the only source of income is that musical real estate that's got to always come back to us.
But they be dropping off big bags for that. Like
I know, like, yeah, I mean.
$100 million.
No, trust me, I know. We did a partnership. I've done a partnership for that first section. We got a bag, but there's
how much?
I'm not telling you.
I want to know.
I can't, man. But listen, I have a company with my family. It's 12 of us all together. So I don't care what you talking about splitting. And my dad had a widow, so she get a chunk of it, and then all the other kids get the rest. So please understand, it's not what but it's
get it. Okay.
It's still an opportunity. It's still a great opportunity to build generational wealth, and that's what I want to do with the company and continue to get more IP back and build and grow.
Do you think you don't? Because bro, you was big in music, bro. Like.
Listen, I wasn't big in music. I'll say this. I say that I did a couple records.
I say, do I have to?
No. Here's because I stopped my musical career before it kind of got started. Listen,
okay.
The biggest record there's two records that I'm a part of. I see you scrolling.
I'm just saying.
But the biggest record that I probably did was Money in the Bank on Lil Scrappy and Young Buck. It was a gold record, gold ringtone. Then T-Pain did Buy You a Drink. And he took part of the lyrics and cadence from Money in the Bank, and that record sold 6 million singles. So I got a percentage of that record. And so what I've said before is that my trauma of my dad getting things stolen from him had always never made me want to sell my publishing. So typically in music, when you enter the realm of music and you get a song out there, right? You get a hit record, right? Somebody once come along and said, you're going to do a publishing deal. So when I did Money in the Bank and the record was like number 8 on the Hot 100, I think it made it a number like, I know it was like top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it made it to like number 8 or something, 8 or 7 on the rap charts. People were trying to give me publishing deals, and I turned them all down. And when you do a publishing deal, it's kind of like, we going to give you this bread, but then we going to put you on other records and give you opportunities, because now we're going to get 50% of everything you do.
Okay.
I didn't do that. So it was harder for me to get on records because they're looking at it like, yo, dog, we're not going to let you just come in the music business and eat 100%.
Yeah.
You got to cough it up. And so for me, I got frustrated and was like, man, I'm going to just start signing artists, which was a bad idea. But I started signing artists because I was like, okay, I'm going to sign artists because I was spending my own money. So the money that I made from these records, I done spent $100,000, $200,000 on trying to break artists. And at this time, we talking about you still got to pay the radio station. You got to do the mix CD. You got to play the strip club DJ. You got to do all this shit. So it just got me frustrated. But in that process, I learned about music licensing. And licensing is the permission to use your song without selling it. So can we use this song in this commercial? Yes. Can we use this song in this movie? Yes. You still own it. We just want permission. How much y'all want to pay? Oh, we'll give you $50,000 to use it in this movie. Oh, real? And I own half of it? Yeah, so you'll get $25,000. Done deal. We want to use this. We want to use this in this movie, like ATL. ATL was more important for me. The movie ATL was more important for me than even Money in the Bank for 2 reasons. One, I licensed like 8 songs to be in that movie. So I made before I ever made a check from a hit record, I had made a bunch of money licensing my music for a movie. So my mind was like, oh, I ain't got to sell my publishing. And Money in the Bank was one of those records that I sent in to the music supervisor at ATL, and they licensed that record. So that's how I've always looked at music, as like ownership. So then somebody told me about this company where you can actually send them all your music, and then music supervisors come in there and just take your music and put it on TV shows and reality shows and stuff like that. So I started doing that. So then I was like, well, see, I ain't gonna be Pops. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be my dad. Like I'm not gonna be the first black man to win an Academy Award or I wasn't gonna be an artist. So I wasn't gonna go out there and sing or anything like that. So I just, wanted to create an income stream for myself that I own. So nobody could take it away from me. So I started doing that. And then I would go to the mailbox and get a check every quarter for like 25 grand, 30 grand, and be like, cool, I'm good. So to me, I can still pursue music, but I set myself up that I can pay my bills. And I don't live lavish, regardless of what you see me. Regardless of what you see me pull up in.
Because you want some boy.
But listen, that was a purchase that I made at the age of 46. You see what I'm saying?
Respect. Okay. It can, yeah, I put work in. Yeah,
I put in the work.
I
I deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So regardless of that, I'm just saying that, I've done that I wanted to create an income stream. I didn't want to worry about that kind of stuff because I was always worried about, you got to have ownership because once that money starts coming in, it'll always come in.
Bro, we're going to get the fan base, I promise. I'm more interested in you.
It's cool.
And we could do another one, but just curious because we hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zaytoven even... Was it Zaytoven? I think he might have spoke about it. When he talk about Kyron, help me out. He bought a chain for like $10,000. Yeah, he got a $10,000 check and he bought a chain. That was Zaytoven, right? Or was that damn? Who was Gucci? Huh? Yeah, okay. Zaytoven. He's like we hear artists talk about the image all the time.
Right.
Right. You know that you bought that at 46, and that was a gift for you because you earned it, right? But how much good attention does that get you in and promote your business for you?
For me, none, because I don't go anywhere.
I was just wondering, does it work? Because we always talk about do all this, get the chains, get all this.
Bruh, I've been dressing like this, except for the time I really was into shoes and sneakers and I had like that. But I'm pretty much a t-shirt, jeans, and white shoes kind of dude because it's just like I'm focused on my business. It depends on what you're doing. I think for people that might be, and I'm gonna tell you this. This is some game. This is real. And can I curse on here? Okay, cool. So I won't curse, but I'll say money and sex are perception. Listen to what I'm saying. Money and sex are perception. If you look like you get bad chicks, women don't mind sleeping with you. If you look like you get money, people don't mind giving you money. The first I had to fight for the first $4,000 I ever made on a beat, right? Like, man, well, why does he deserve $4,000 or $6,000 for this beat? One of my first records I ever produced, even before Money in the Bank, right? When I started doing Money in the Bank, after I did Money in the Bank, I was like, yo, what's your fee? Oh, $17,500, $25,000, done. Because they already know you're getting money. So if you already once you start making money, people don't have a problem giving you money. If you already knocking down and dating bad chicks recognize that. They're like, oh, I'm not doing, if a woman thinks she's doing you a favor by sleeping with you, it's going to be a hard road.
Facts.
But if it looks like, yo, if it's not me, it's going to be another girl. So I might as well, right? It's the perception of that. So in certain instances, success can be about perception, but there's still got to be some fundamental fly shit associated with it. You can get money, but what product are you building? You can get girls, but what is underneath that to sustain that?
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to give you the OG game.
No, I like that. Let's get the fan base, bro. So again, I think I said this at the podcast. I feel like a lot of us was introduced to fan base during COVID over Clubhouse.
Yep.
What has changed since then? Because I feel like you had a lot of momentum then.
I got a lot of momentum now. I think the momentum of the pandemic, because everybody was inside, and we were seeing in real time the effect of Black culture. Versus was on TV.
Yeah. We
blew up Clubhouse.
Yep.
D Nice was on Instagram. Like, we were like, yo, Black culture is making tech cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, like we making this shit cool. And so I had founded the company in 2018, but took me like 6 months to build it. So I had in going back to music publishing, the only way I was able to build Fanbase was my music career. Because I was able to go to my performing rights organization, which is BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, those are PROs, and get an advance on money that I would make from putting my music on TV and film. But again, it wasn't ownership. So they just giving me money that was going to flow in anyway. So I advanced myself like $200,000 to build Fanbase. So without me knowing about music publishing and never doing a publishing deal, I would have never had the money to build Fanbase. Building the app taught me about ownership. The first thing that I did when I came up with the idea for Fanbase is trademark the name Fanbase. Because I hadn't even built the app yet. But I said, I want to own, because you got to think, any idea that you think of, I don't care if it's a podcast, a clothing line, whatever, trademark it first. It's not, trademarking might cost you anywhere between $500 and $1,000, $1,500, but trademark your stuff because then you can take your idea as far as you want to take it. You want to build something, have to stop it and change the name because somebody else got the name. You know what I'm saying? So my first thing is, how can no one steal this from me and how can I own it? So before I even met my CTO, even did anything, I just trademarked the name. I want to build a social media platform where people can monetize their content called Fanbase because everyone is a fan of something and everyone has a fan base. So that's the reason why I did it. So we get to that point. I'm spending the money to build the app. I'm like running out of money because it's like, $200,000 starting to get low. COVID hits, and in tech, you usually go get money from VCs. So VCs are venture capitalists that loan you money for a percentage of your company and some type of control and say so on what you do. The problem is that black folks don't get no money from VCs. Like in 2023, less than half of 1% of all black founder startups got money from venture capital. So if there was $100 billion, right, 500 million went to everybody that's black, all the black VCs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. So we got Fanbase now, but I'm asking again. You had the
So here's what happened. This is a really detailed story because I created the momentum.
It's fine, bro. Take it. We got time.
I created the momentum. So my good friend Dawn Dixon, she was the first black woman to raise $1 million using equity crowdfunding. So equity crowdfunding is this thing that Barack Obama and Joe Biden put into law that allows anybody to invest in a company, right, with small amounts of money. Before that, from 1933 all the way to 2015, you could only invest in a tech startup if you were something called an accredited investor, which is basically a hustle to say you had to be rich. So to qualify, so you had to have qualified to invest in a tech startup. So to qualify, you had to have $1 million net worth minus your house, or make $200,000 a year for 2 consecutive years, and you qualify as an accredited investor. Average American salary, dog, is like, even before then, from 1933, dog, this is like after the Great Depression. Well, ain't nobody having money. It was basically a way for rich people to get in on deals before the general public could. So if you're thinking of Apple, Google, IBM, Facebook, Uber, all these companies were invested in by rich people already. I'll give you an example. Guy by the name of Orrin Michaels. Orrin Michaels, I've never met you, but I probably said your name 1,000 times, but I think it's a good reason. Orrin Michaels was a guy in tech. He was one of the seed investors in Uber. Uber raised $500,000 in their seed round. He put $500,000. Uber raised $500,000. Orrin Michaels put $5,000 into Uber in 2010. The company went public on the stock market in 2019. By 2019, 9 years later, his $5,000 was worth $24 million.
Oh my gosh.
So imagine, you know how many street niggas I know with 5G, strippers, hustlers with $5,000? Damn, screw that. You and 10 of your friends can get together and put $500. Imagine taking $500 and turning it into $2.4 million in 9 years.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's what I say about investing. And I'm not trying to, I'm not a investment or stock guru, but investing is really just like long-term gambling. It's just like, I put some money in here, I'm gonna either lose it, I'm gonna break even, or I'm gonna make some bread. So if you understand gambling, you understand investing. You just gotta know like when to stay, when to pull out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. And so this law allowed, it wiped out that accredited investor rule. So now you can invest in startups, but particular ones that qualify, that go through this process of getting vetted by the SEC and all that kind of stuff. So when I saw Dawn do it, a friend of mine suggested that you need to try the thing that Dawn did. And I knew Dawn. I was like, Dawn, teach me how to do this. And she coached me on like the way that you raise capital. And I put my twist on it. But here's something that happened. This was in the middle of the pandemic. And I'm going to rewind real quick to even understand why I even thought equity crowdfunding was important. So remember I told you I met them VCs. I had a meeting with a VC, and it was a white venture capitalist, a white lady. And I was trying to raise money for Fanbase. And she goes, why would you want to go up against Instagram and Facebook? Like, they're giants. They're these enormously successful, popular companies. Why would you want to try to build anything that competes with that? And she was saying that like, this is stupid. And I was like, well, at the time, this is well after I had built the app, but I never told anybody I built Fanbase for 2 years or a year and a half. But I was like, the reason is because I can build anything that Mark Zuckerberg can build, but Mark Zuckerberg can't build black people. And I know that's what makes social media work. So I apply for Start Engine. I get in there, and I get only 2% of people, all people, gender, race, get accepted equity crowdfunding. So I had my shit together. I made 2 classes of stock in Fanbase. I made voting share stock and non-voting share stock. I'm the only one that owns voting share stock in the company. There is no board, because remember, Steve Jobs got fired from Apple, got voted, had his board. Not doing that again. My mind is thinking, how can I protect this and no one steal it from me? So I said, okay, I only offer common stock to invest in the company. So I made 2 classes of stock, got accepted to Start Engine, and I did that. Now, when you get accepted to equity crowdfunding, you can't tell nobody until your raise goes live. So I got accepted in August, so my raise wasn't going to go live till like October 29th. So August, September, October, I couldn't tell nobody that I was about to raise money. But at the same time, I got invited to this thing called Clubhouse. I got an invite. When I got invited to Clubhouse, there was like 3,000 people on the app. This is August. You had to get an invite, wasn't nobody on there. It literally was nobody on the app. So I got on there, had a couple of conversations, and I was like, all right. So I started making some cool little rooms. And then the lady that worked there at the time, they would give you invites to invite people, but you would only get like 1 or 2 invites a week. I got like 14 and 15 at a time. So I invited like Snoop Dogg, and I invited Hannah Kane and Dina Marto, and if y'all know who these people are, and then I invited Van Lathan and Charlemagne and Killer Mike and all these people, because when you used to invite people to Clubhouse, your name would be attached to them, like brought in by so and so. So you go to Snoop Dogg's page and say nominated by Isaac Hayes III, or you go to these people's name, right? So I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invite everybody, and I'm gonna blow this bitch up. Then shortly after that, Fadia Cater was at Instagram. She got invited to Clubhouse. So between me and Fadia, we invited the whole music industry. So then from my invites, you start seeing Meezy and 21 Savage
they went crazy.
And Meek Mill. And so I said, this what's gonna happen. And then I heard it one day. Here we go again, blowing up another white person's app that we don't own. Got him. That's exactly what I wanted us to say, because I wanted us to prove the value that black culture has on technology. So by the time that 4,000 people there, by the time November was there, Clubhouse had over like 500,000 users. They had like 600,000 or 700,000 users. So in 3 months, they went from 4,000 users to like 600,000-700,000 users, right? So as soon as I was able to launch my raise, I went back on Clubhouse and said, yo, I just found an app that didn't have audio rooms, mind you. We have audio rooms now. But I was like, I just launched an app called Fanbase. You can invest in it. The minimum to invest is $245. Go to Start Engine, and everybody, like that first $50,000 or $60,000, $70,000 came from Clubhouse. And I started that whole process. And then I started doing interviews and talking about the tech, because I knew I had a solid app. Fanbase is a phenomenon. But this is one of those like, get it out the mud, grind. Like, I didn't get $10 million to start my app. I started with $200,000. And my goal was only to raise $1 million, because at the time, the most you could raise in equity crowdfunding was $1 million. So COVID hits. I'm gonna tell you. So once we're in COVID, I started to raise the $1 million. I raised $300,000 in like 3 weeks. Then I do the Breakfast Club. When I tell you the raise went viral after doing the Breakfast Club, I probably raised like $2.5 million in like a day.
Damn. So
I had people on a wait list to invest in Fanbase. So I reached that $1 million goal, which is like damn near gave me a panic attack, because I was like, you just raised $1 million and you got these people's money. So then the SEC comes along and says, guess what? Because of COVID, we're going to up the maximum to $5 million, but you got to get an audit. Audit takes like 3 months. So they announced the law in like November. They put it in motion in April. So April had to do an audit. By the time the audit was done, I got to take that money. And I'm sorry, in February, by the time April hit, I was able to collect that money too. So we wound up raising about $3.2 million in that first round. And that gave us some serious capital. But in that process, Clubhouse reached 1 million users in that from August to January. You know what Clubhouse did? Clubhouse went and raised $100 million at $1 billion valuation.
Wow.
And didn't give anybody, the first million people, the opportunity to invest in Clubhouse. So me, all the people that came there, that first million people that blew it up, They didn't give, they might have gone to a couple celebrities and let them kind of, and really talk to them kind of nasty, like, yeah, get in or get out, like whatever, we the hot shit. And some people did and some people didn't. But they weren't like gracious, like, yo, for you guys blowing this up, we're going to let y'all own part of this because, I mean, it's going to help y'all continue to blow it up. And they did it. And I turned to my CTO and said, we built an audio. And we built it in 2 months. So we added audio rooms to Fanbase, which we have now, which were monetized. So you can make money while speaking in them and you can have subscribers in them at the same time.
Bro, but so my question is, I think I might have said this before, but it seems like, I mean, of course you have to. But again, just from outside looking in, like you're promoting the hell out of this app. All of the apps that pop, we didn't have to get promoted. Like no white person promoted it. We did it, right? You think of Clubhouse. We got on there, turned up. Instagram, it almost felt like I got to get on this app or else I'm missing something.
Right.
But with Fanbase, I don't feel that. It feels like I see you working it.
Right.
Like a single almost.
Yeah.
How do we get it to somebody like I got to be on this, I'm missing something?
Well, there's a couple things. One, I call this like familiarity bias. For anybody that has started a business, including you, you are less likely to be supported by people you know than complete strangers. It's just the truth. You start your business, your closest friends won't buy nothing from you. They'll be like, give me a discount, but a complete stranger, like most of the people that invested in Fanbase, I did not know. Even to this day, some of the people that I've known for like 10, 15 years have not invested in Fanbase. It's this bias that we have against ourselves, especially in the Black community, about supporting one another. And it feels weird. And so I always say, like, building wealth in the Black community is looked at as a competition, not collaboration. We not trying to create, like, I'm trying to create hundreds of millionaires. I'm not trying to create one billionaire, which is me. And then I get to go around and say I'm a billionaire. The reason why I let people invest is collectively, especially to your young people. I'm telling anybody watching this, go invest in Fanbase. Because you literally, your culture is what makes things move. The younger generation is what makes things hot. So who better than to give an opportunity to invest in? If I was between the ages of 17, 18, well probably 18, probably get 18 to investment, 18 and 24, I put $399 on Fanbase and then tell all my friends to come over there and let's all do this and let's run this thing up to a $100 billion company and cash out. There's no way I wouldn't do it.
You know what I think it is? Because you're right. But now that I'm thinking about it, all of the places offer something new. It's like some type of innovation. Think about it. Like, so when Instagram came out, it was the first of its kind to show pictures. Then when TikTok came out, even like when Vine came out, it was the first of its kind that did video, right?
Video,
even
right?
3 seconds. Then when TikTok came out, it was the first of its kind to do what it did, kinda.
Short form video, like musically, short form video, right.
And then Clubhouse, the first of its kind.
Right,
So
audio.
in what ways are you being innovative to get us over there to be like, yo, I can't miss out on this because this is different?
Monetization. And that's the part that people don't understand. It's the money. The money that's being so we looking at it as fun. Like we look at apps like, can I have fun? But in the process of you having fun, these apps aren't worth 100 billion, 300 billion, 500 billion, 1.8 trillion for nothing. They're apps. And so the idea for Fanbase was subscriptions. Again, I Google this, run it through ChatGPT or whatever. Like before Fanbase, there was no app that you could subscribe to a person using your phone. You always had to subscribe to people using a credit card or a debit card. So I don't care if it's OnlyFans, which came out like a year or two before Fanbase, Patreon, Twitch. You still have to use a credit card. The ability to pull out your phone and go to someone's profile and hit the subscribe button and subscribe to them easy. So if I can go to my boy Kyle's page right now, if I can show you the ability to hit a button and then hit subscribe and then it pop up and you subscribe to somebody, I invented that. That didn't exist. Now, Instagram does it, TikTok can do it, X can do it. I invented that in 2019. And the reason why I know that is Apple said you can't do it. And I was terrified because remember, I took $200,000 and built an app and be like, man, wait, you think I done got all the way here, I done trademarked the name, we done built this app to have people to be able to subscribe to you. You can follow you. That was the thing that I wanted. I didn't want to interrupt the following. I didn't want to interrupt people from being able to be seen and their kind of be seen. A lot of people think Fanbase, you have to pay to be on the app. Like you got to pay to be on there, and the app has subscribers. No, the subscribers are yours. So you can have followers on Fanbase and you can have subscribers. But I was thinking about like, do you know how much money? I was looking at like how much money like some of these gamers were making. I'm like, yeah, this is before I even knew who Casanat was. This is like when I'm thinking about Ninja. Ninja was making like $4 million a year off streaming on Twitch and shit like that. I'm like, well, if he can make that, what could Cardi B make? What could you make? You can make enough money to probably pay your phone bill. You don't have to be making millions.
Something, yeah.
It's paper, it's money. So Apple said you can't do it. So the reason that they told us was because they have this thing called a subscription profile. This is a very detailed story, and I tell this because I know I'm the person that invented in-app purchase peer-to-peer subscription. So Apple, every time you subscribe to something like Spotify, Netflix, Apple on the back end has a profile for you that lets you know that you are subscribed to Netflix. You are subscribed to Spotify. Apple's verbatim words were, we're not letting you build an app where in theory, someone could subscribe to 20 people, right? You wind up with 100 million users and we have 2 billion subscription profiles to keep up with. We're not doing that. That's what they told me. And I was like, oh, shit. So we said, okay, so every time that someone subscribes to someone on your platform, it's a profile. So the initial MVP of Fanbase that I built was a tiered system, which means you can subscribe to one person, that's a profile. If you want to subscribe to somebody more, you go up to 3. You swap out the 1 for the 3 and 5. And Ramiro turned to me and said, you're about to do something that no one's ever been done. Remember this. Like no one's ever done this. You're about to do something that nobody's ever done. And we did it. We launched the app. So initially, you could only subscribe to up to 5 people on Fanbase. My initial vision was you could subscribe to as many people as you want. 2022, we heard Instagram was doing subscriptions. Mind you, I launched in the end of 2019, right? The end of 2018 going into 2019. We heard Instagram was doing subscriptions. So we called up Apple, because you have a rep at Apple. And I asked my Apple rep, I was like, yo, I just seen the thing where Instagram's doing subscriptions, but they're doing it like how we wanted to do it. And her response, who will remain anonymous, she was like, yeah, Apple's had a change of heart of how we view subscriptions. And I was like, I bet. Because you can only subscribe to Netflix once. But a person that can subscribe to Nike, the Lakers, Cardi B, Lotto, and Pizza Hut for content that they all make, that's 5 subscriptions. That's way more money coming in. So Apple created this thing, this SKU system, now where they have SKUs. So they have price points. So now they made this whole system where you can create SKUs. So on Fanbase, you can subscribe to somebody for $2.99, $4.99, $9.99, $14.99, $19.99, $24.99, $49.99, and $99.99 a month. And all that exists. And so when you see that on TikTok, you see that on Instagram, that little subscription with the crown, they got that from me. That again, when I say what you're building with this, gives me the confidence to continue, because I'm just a black dude that used to make records that wanted to build a tech startup, but it's the innovation and the ideas that black people come up with. That's the secret sauce. We just don't have the $100 million or somebody give you $35 million to build it out the gate. So the reason why Fanbase is going to look like a grind is because we're not coming in. We don't get to come in. I'll give you a prime example. Instagram, they raised $500,000 from venture capital out the gate to build Instagram. From VCs, because they went Stanford, they knew people. It's always that thing. If you look like, and this is no shade to any of these phenomenal founders that have built amazing companies, but there's a difference between how black founders start their company and how a white founder start their company. Saying Jeff Bezos was able to raise like $300,000 from family and friends to start Amazon. I mean, ain't no $300,000. You ever seen that video, that old video with this black kid? He's like, Donald Trump is talking. He's like, yeah, I started my business with my father for a small loan of $1 million. He's sitting at the table counting pennies like, small loan of $1 million. Like, of course, like anybody can start a business with a small loan from their daddy with $1 million. Of course, but we don't. That's not how we start our companies, man.
You probably thought of this.
What?
You know what I think can help?
What?
That these people aren't doing? A lot of this is like grind, go get it money. Right? Like you gotta like Instagram, you think about you gotta make a bunch of reels, you gotta get a bunch of views for you to get money, right? Mm-hmm. What if you paid a couple people, I don't know, $30,000, $40,000 a year, have exclusive content for Fanbase where they gotta bring it in. Kind of like how Barstool did with $1 million worth of game.
Okay. I'm going to tell you why that doesn't typically work, because every platform does that.
Who?
I'm going to tell you, no, listen, they all do it. But the point is it doesn't work. So what I say all the time is you have to build community on social media. You can't, celebrities don't make social media platforms, communities do. It's the people that are there while the celebrities are out celebrating. So the reason that Clubhouse went up and then went down is because when Outside went back up, everybody went back on tour making music on the road. So 21 Savage and Kevin Hart, they ain't about to be on Clubhouse no more. They gone.
Yeah.
And plus the way they handled plus the kind of way they handled the black community, it turned a lot of people off. Like, oh, okay, so y'all just pumped us up with Negroes. Like, all right, cool. Well, we out of here. And it took a nosedive. You know what I'm saying? So there have been several apps that try to buy audience. I'll give you one. I name one. There's one called AMP that was on Amazon. You remember AMP?
Yeah.
Okay, you know who Amazon paid?
A few like
Joe Budden, Nicki Minaj, Young Boy, Jason Lee.
He had a couple
Candy.
small people like Wayno. He had Nala Simone. They had they had a couple people,
and they went the F out of business because you can't buy You can't celebrity doesn't. It's the people that stay on. Like Fanbase exists right now because of the user base. We almost have 700,000 users. It's because the people that are on the app while I'm asleep, that are in London in the UK, that are using the app. That's what makes apps. It's communities. So I just want to, and then this is another thing. This is the true story to all your viewers out here. There's no amount of innovation. Mark my words. I'm telling you right now. There's no amount of innovation that Facebook and Instagram can do to capture kids. They can't, because kids are always going to be on apps that their parents are not. But
we seen TikTok do it.
No, but TikTok was a new right, and now TikTok got a whole bunch of old people on it now too, and kids are looking like, where are we going next? Where we finna go next? And I'm like, I got you. Don't worry. Come on over here. Away from mommy and daddy. And make some bread. And have fun and do it. And the thing about it is, one thing that I say is there's the exception and there's the rule. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram are the exception. That means they're the 1 in 100,000 that become these unicorns really, really quick within a year. Clubhouse, that's the exception. The rule, Patreon is a $4 billion company. That's a lot of money. You know when Patreon was founded?
When?
2013. They've been around for 11 years.
Wow.
You know when ByteDance, the company that has TikTok, was founded? 2012. You see what I'm saying? That's the rule. The rule is it's going to take 10 years to blow this thing up.
That makes sense. Okay.
It's the grind. It's not the ones that we thinking about, but there's a lot of other popular apps that come out that wind up being multi-billion-dollar companies.
But we seen Patreon kind of get behind Joe too, though. Like they gave him position in the company.
Listen, I know.
Because like Joe was one of the people who brought a lot of people to that. I mean, of course.
But here's the difference between Patreon and Fanbase. Patreon is not a community. It's a paywall.
Yeah.
So once you go there to see Joe, it's not like another person comes up for free that you can watch.
Right.
Or audio room that you can jump in, or your own content that you can share with the community and talk about. It don't exist.
How much you say I feel like you had said a number that I thought wasn't correct. Because you said Patreon only give you like, how much? Like, because they give me most of the money. Give me most of my money.
Most of these platforms are around 50-50 rev share.
Nah, it ain't 50.
Hold on. Twitch, no, listen. Patreon can be more. Twitch is a 50-50 split. Absolutely. YouTube Shorts is a 50-50 split. TikTok gives you like 1 to 2 cents per 4,000 views.
I'm saying money, like far as how much, if I charge you $3, I feel like I get most of my $3.
Hold on. And you might. It might be that way. But I can do the math for you and let you know how much money everybody's leaving on the table. And the thing about it is like, social media has done a really good job of convincing people that your content doesn't have any value. That's not worth nothing, because attention is the currency that we're trading it for. You make the content, I get people to watch it. I get popular. People think I'm famous. I get invited to host clubs. I got girls after me. I got guys in my DMs trying to fly me out. The currency of attention is something that social media spent a long time figuring out. What I'm saying is that there is a shift, because now the in-app purchase payments and video are part of social media. Monetization is coming. Subscriptions are going to be the wave of the future, but not just for the big boys, for everybody.
I was just about to show you this.
Yeah.
I just put this in my group chat, and I'm like, we got 12 subscribers in a day, right? Because so what I'm doing is I have a Patreon, exclusive Patreon show. Right?
You have an exclusive fan base.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna get you to come to Fanbase.
I'm actually on Fanbase.
No, but we're gonna get you like, we're gonna bring this whole thing and we're gonna make you rich. And then people gonna see like, all right, because it's so much more you can do on Fanbase.
Yeah, and that's another thing I think people gotta believe it. Like I think I've seen it work with Patreon and OnlyFans. That's it.
Yeah.
Like what even
but you seen it, you seen it work with OnlyFans because it's porn.
Yeah, but I'm saying we see people make money like even with Patreon.
Tell me name some people on Patreon that don't sell ass.
On Patreon?
I mean, on OnlyFans that don't sell ass.
No, of course. But even like we starting to see girls now. Like I think you even said you subscribe to Bad Bunny. Bad Barbie, she's not showing no ass.
No. But the point is the insinuation that it is part of that.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is we seen people make money from these apps like Patreon. We seen people make money from these apps like OnlyFans. So like even with a fan base, you get on that, you say it's 700,000 users, but it still kind of feel empty like when I get there.
100%.
So like that's where do you incentivize these people with large platforms? Not even me. Like I don't have nothing compared to like you got people that like what do you incentivize them?
I can only incentivize them by saying you can invest and actually have equity and own it. Like, do you want to use the platform and make money, and on the back end have ownership, or even saying giving you equity? Like I said this before. Do you think I wouldn't give Casanat some equity in Fanbase? How many people you think Casanat can bring to Fanbase?
A lot,
right?
You probably double that 700,
right? Quick. And so then when that happens, guess how much Fanbase is worth? $1 billion. It goes from a $160 million company to a $1.6 billion company, right?
Why don't we want to do that?
Bruh, look, it's gonna happen. I'm sitting over here like, yo, it's gonna happen. But my point is this. Another thing that happens is this, and I'm just gonna keep it 100. Another thing that happens is that by me doing it that way, a lot of times some people don't like the labels don't get to eat. Don't know record company want. Okay, name me an artist. I'll say, name me an artist right now. Name me a famous rapper.
Just anybody.
Name me any famous rapper.
I don't know, Lil Baby.
Oh, perfect. Great example. All right. So, Lil Baby has 23.5 million followers on Instagram. Remember that number, 23.5 million followers on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the videos on his Instagram page. I see 2.2 million views. 4.2 million views, 5.3 million views, 1.6 million views, 895,000 views, 897,000 views. Is that 24 million people? Why?
Because Instagram play with the algorithm.
Why?
Because it's money and marketing and ad dollars.
Right. So you know how many people watch Sunday Night Football on NBC?
A lot.
18 million. Mm-hmm. Little Baby has more followers than Sunday Night Football has viewers. Mm-hmm. You know how much Sunday Night Football charges for a commercial for 30 seconds?
At least 2 M's.
$800,000.
Damn.
For a 30.
I'm thinking Super Bowl. My bad.
But $800,000 for a 30-second spot. So if Lil Baby could post a video and reach 24 million people, he could charge like $1.2 million and never work again.
Yeah, but now you cutting me out. And I need my money.
Right. Instagram's like, well, we got to eat, so we got to smush you down to force Target and Walmart to run ads with us and not with you. That's the fix. So, okay, cool. So Lil Baby not only has 23.5 million followers, he can't even reach them. But let's monetize his fan base. Because this is what I say about fan base. Buried within your following on social media is a small group of people that really support you and want to see you win. I say this around 3 to 5%, right? But I'm going to go on the high side and say 5%. So I'm going to do some math for you and tell me that 5% of Lil Baby's following is 1,175,000 people. That's his fan base. Those are the people that buy Lil Baby albums, go to his concerts. He a platinum artist. That's him, right? If Lil Baby says, all right, cool, I'm going to take my life on Fanbase and put stuff, I'm going to still give you all the free stuff that I do on Instagram, because I can do that on Fanbase, but I'm going to do audio rooms with virtual meet and greets. I'm going to do, a little concert that nobody else can see. I'm gonna post photos and videos of me working in the studio. I'm gonna do a reality show about going on tour. And I'm gonna charge $9.99 a month. And I'm gonna give little baby $7 of that $9.99 a month. Guess what that is? $8.2 million a month, $98 million a year.
So my question is...
No, just think about that for a second. This money, Lil Baby is leaving $98 million a year on the table. So is Cardi B. So is Lotto. So is Nike. So is Doja Cat. These labels don't want... This is... I guarantee you, this is more... He'd make more money off Fanbase than he would doing shows and selling records.
Right.
But my point is, it's the big shh. We don't want them to know. Because if basketball players are making more money than the teams they play for, what do the teams have to do? Pay them more money.
Yeah.
If Lil Baby's making $100 million off his Fanbase page, what kind of deal does Universal got to cut him?
But that's why I'm asking, right? So I know this play, with especially black people. I'm just be straight up, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to put that work in ourselves. We scared, right? I'm starting to understand this, but that's what I'm saying as an owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you paid, because black people only want to see guaranteed. If you know that as a business owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is a potential for you to make 96 million, right? So even if it's not 96 million, I know if I'm just, what did they say? I'm shooting for the moon, but I land on a star or something like that, right?
Shoot for the moon, yeah. Amongst
Cool.
the stars, yeah.
He might not make 96. I'm gonna offer him 100,000, 150.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe you get it, right? Because it's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do, get a contract,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to do 2 pieces of content a week.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get that money as the owner. Do what the record labels do to us. That literally, like, if bro, we know how the game go.
I know.
I'm not paying you 50. I'm not paying you $1 million unless I'm making 50 million. So I'm thinking,
No, listen.
why not pay them?
We have tested that before. And what happens is that the artists typically don't follow through.
And you got contracts and everything.
Yes. They don't care. They not. They run off on the plug. I'm telling you. And this is what bugs me out. When I saw Bad Baby, as a matter of fact, I just seen a video the other day since she's been on OnlyFans. You know how much money she's made on OnlyFans since she's been on there?
Like 75.
It's like $53 million.
Crazy.
So wait, if she can make $53 million,
Yeah, she made that. She brought in 77 or something like that.
she brought in 77, but took home 53 M's. Guess who that's more money than? She made more money than Lotto. That's more money than Sexy Red. That's more money than Doja Cat. That's more money than Megan Thee Stallion. It might be more money than Cardi B. I'm not gonna say Nicki because Nicki been in the game, and all of those girls are better rappers than she is. But my point is, if you don't explicitly decide to monetize your brand, you're leaving hundreds of millions of dollars on the table. Forget the music. The music is always there for you to do. Do your music, do your shows. But your brand, like a matter of fact, I seen this the other day. I saw this, I screenshot this, and I screenshot this because I was gonna send it to her manager, or not her manager, but one of the people that work with her. Let me find this little screenshot because I literally screenshot this the other day, and I was like, "Are you serious? Hold on." I hope it's still
Why are you
my
looking
phone.
for that? I say that because like it's so many creatives out here struggling, and if you pay a creative a salary, I'm pretty sure if you got access, because I'm doing this with a company now, right? They access for my YouTube, so they can give me a quote, right? You get access to their YouTube. You see how much money they made, right? You can offer them a percentage of their salary guaranteed because YouTube ain't guaranteed. Like, y'all give you this guaranteed. We write up a contract. All you got to do is give me exclusive content.
Listen, and what happens is that what people want to see is instant results.
But if it's a contract, it's like a job at that point.
No,
You
but
got to do that.
But my point is, a lot of times people want to see instant results. I've had creators come on Fanbase, like I'm coming to Fanbase, and they post something, and immediately they don't get the same attention.
But are you paying them is what I'm saying.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen. Number one, if you get in the business of paying creators, then you have to pay everybody. You can't start that. Because that's what happened with AMP. I'm telling you, AMP did it. Why? So tell me this. AMP, all those people, if you take Joe Budden, Jason Lee, Nicki Minaj, Youngboy, Candy, and all of them couldn't get people to come on there and make that and subscribe and make money, it don't work. Community, I'm telling you, community is what builds these platforms. And I know that these creators aren't being respected because I talk to their managers. I talk to the managers of these people that work with TikTok and work with Instagram. and work with Twitch, and they be like, man, they be disrespecting the F out of us. They don't care. They don't respect. And the reason why is because there's nobody. They know that they're the only game in town. The minute that I tell you, the minute that somebody people are making money on Fanbase. Don't get it twisted. There are people making $11,000, $5,000. Like there are people making money on Fanbase, right? But my point is, when somebody says I made an M, because it's not. I mean, $11,000 is not a lot to a rapper that's making money. That's doing $50,000, $100,000 walkthroughs. They don't care about that. But as soon as that person hits that M or 2M on Fanbase, then they all gonna come over. And they all gonna rush over. Because you gotta start from the bottom up. So you start with nano influencers, nano creators. You would be the best use case to get a little baby on there. Or even a Joe Budden. Because when they see you making $5 million a year, they be like, well, wait a minute. If Jay making 500, he making $5 million a year, I can make 50.
That's how it happened, yeah.
You start with
my only thing is like I downloaded it. It's just why would I leave Patreon? I'm trying to understand.
So let's have this Patreon conversation. How long you been on Patreon?
Maybe like 6-7 months.
All right. So how many subscribers you got on Patreon?
Let's look.
Give me subscribers on Patreon.
Yeah, we can run through the whole thing. I'm okay. I have 68 members, but it's weird because some of these are free. Okay. Yeah, so I think I got like. We can do this in real life. I'm transparent. It don't matter.
Well, my point is, what I'm saying is that whatever you making on Patreon, you can make that on Fanbase and more money.
Let's go through it because I want to be a believer, and we can hopefully make somebody else a believer. I'm gonna
tell you, but here's the thing. You gotta utilize the tools. Like, what can you do on Patreon?
So I have 21 paid right now. It's $71 a month.
All right, cool. Hold on, look at this. All right, you ready? All right, I'm about to show you this. I'm about to wow you out. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. I'm on Fanbase right now. Number one, look. Here's where all my exclusive content gets posted. That's where I post all my exclusive content. I don't post none. Guess how many subscribers I got?
I can't see.
12.
12.
Right? Now I go to my revenue that I can see in real time. Guess how much money I made half a month through?
$47.
$47. I'm already beating you. I'm gonna beat you by the end of the month. I don't even post no exclusive content. I'm getting this from love. You know, people can tip and tip. So I make money from love. I get money from love and subscriptions. I get tips and subscriptions. And I got followers. I got how many followers? I got 104,000 followers on Fanbase.
So I can get. So let's say I go to Fanbase, right?
Mm-hmm.
I say it's kind of like this. We see LaRussell do this. We seen Nipsey Hussle was the famous person that did it. I think it was Nipsey, but basically like choose your own price.
Yeah, you can do that.
So let's say I come to Fanbase, right? And I don't charge nothing for my subscription, but I say, give me pay what you think is worth.
No, don't do that. Just have followers and then still put other stuff behind a paywall. Just give them the free, and then you'll like you're doing on Patreon. There's more for people to do on Fanbase and Patreon. That's why you have so little subscribers, because it's like once they look at your content, they're like, "What are we doing?" Once I go look at the naked girl on OnlyFans, is there anything else to see on OnlyFans? Is there a meme, a funny video, some news going on, a long form video, something that I can make myself that I can share with my friends? You can't do that. We got DMs, we got stories, live, short form video, long form video.
But that's Instagram. You can make subscriptions on Instagram.
Yeah, I know. But again, they the old boy. They old. They old.
But you know, in this society, it's like, bro, like we don't like nothing that's new. Like it's like it's different.
Do.
It's different for us. Anything that's different for what we neglect. Like we it's like you know what I'm saying? Like as an extra app for me.
My little brother is 18 years old. You want to see what his family? You want to see what his Instagram page looks like? He 18. He ain't on Instagram. He's not. Want to know why he's not? Because I'm there. And my point is, there are millions and millions of kids that are between the ages of 17 and 28 that do not want to be around big sister or their grandma or their mom or dad, and they want to go on there and do their dance videos and talk about rap shit and talk about getting drunk and having fun and living life and all those things, and they don't want to do it. So he's out of here. No way. He ain't doing that. And nothing's going to stop that. There's always going to be another platform. I'm just here like it's on. Like, I'm just down the tracks. I'm like, y'all will get here. When it happens, it's gonna happen. When it happens, it's gonna look like it's overnight. It's gonna look like Fanbase, the #1 app on the App Store, And it's like, yeah, I started this company in 2018, launched in 2019, didn't tell nobody I built it for 2 years, raised money at the end of 2020, raised $3 million, then another $2 million, then another 4.5, raised $10 million. Now I'm launching a $17 million round. We're gonna raise that money, and then somebody gonna come on the platform and blow it up, like Snoop did for Instagram. Because typically what happens with these platforms is it's one celebrity that just gets on there and uses the platform, right? And blows it up and understands what's going on. My thing is that so many people don't see the value in their content. This costs money. This isn't free.
You ain't gotta tell me.
This electricity, this cameras, this lights. All right. So
and that's why we here, because it ain't free.
So listen what I'm saying though.
That's it.
So how many seasons of this podcast are you on?
I don't do seasons, but let's just say I got over 1,000 videos on my YouTube.
So how long you been doing this?
Podcasting since like 2019.
Okay. So then we say you in season 4 or 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's time to up the ante, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in season 6, right? You're like, I'm gonna start paying on my content and build a subscriber base of loyal people that really want to support me. Because here's the thing, you don't understand. People want to see you win. I want to see you win. People want to subscribe to you. You don't know. More people want to subscribe to you than you think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it might be how much you charge, right? Because how much you charge for a subscription?
$3.
Okay, yeah. That's even, yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, $3.49, price of a bag of chips and a soda, don't go above $4.99. But here's another thing. You gotta massively market and promote that. Mm-hmm. You can't just say, oh, come subscribe to my page and then that's it. Like, this is the thing that doesn't, okay, so let me ask you a question. We know that the girls on OnlyFans get butt ass naked, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know that, right? But what do they always do? What 3 words is it? What 3 words did every OnlyFans model post, say, put on their stories, put on Twitter? Link in bio, link in bio, link in bio, swipe up, link in bio, link in bio. Yeah. They're marketing 24/7. We know they naked and they still marketing.
Yeah.
So you see, and a lot of people don't have that energy. They're not gonna sit up there and do that.
You're right.
Every story that like, here's the thing. We're gonna get you on Fanbase. You should never post a story that doesn't say, swipe up to subscribe to my Fanbase. Nothing. Every single thing you should do. I don't care if you just out chilling at the mall, there should still be a link to subscribe. Everything you do should have you should be spending every ounce of real estate you have on social media, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, should be driving. It's called funneling. You got to funnel people.
100%.
Like when Bad Baby made that money, right? To explain to you, when Bad Baby made that money, and she probably did it again, because I always go to her page. But yeah, look, the first time I saw Bad Baby, look, she not on Instagram. What is she don't you? Everybody, but why is Cardi B on there so hard? She's made more money not using Instagram with less followers than these artists that have millions, because everybody caught up in the attention.
Yeah, you're right.
The bag is in subscriptions. This girl made $54 million. She has 16 million followers on Instagram and don't give a shit about Instagram. See, this is the difference. She knows she makes Instagram. We think Instagram makes us.
Facts.
So when Boosie get kicked off Instagram, give me my Instagram page back, please. When somebody go, oh, please give my page back. Oh my God, they're shadow banning me. We're programmed to try to fight to be in spaces we're not wanted. We got an acceptance issue. It's the velvet rope mentality. We don't want you niggas here. Let us in. I want my page back. I want okay, bye. We going to Fanbase. And I'm investing, and we finna run this shit up to 100 billion and cash out, and we all finna be on islands and private jets, and we ain't finna rock with y'all. Like, it's over with.
I like this. Nah, this is fire. I'm on there, bro.
No, it's not being on there and being present are 2 entirely different things. Have you migrated your content? I filed a patent for that. You know what content migration is?
Yeah, you told me before.
Yeah, so you can migrate your TikTok or your Instagram and take all that content and move it over to Fanbase.
Yeah.
You know, this content, just take it and ships it all over like FedEx, and it winds up on your page. So all your captions, all your video, up to 1,000 posts, wind up on your Fanbase page with TikTok and Instagram. And I filed a patent for that. I filed a patent for branded audio. Like, you can listen to the audio rooms, like I just showed you. You can listen to audio rooms on Fanbase without even having to download the app. That means if I'm an artist, I can create an audio room on Fanbase and just put the link in my Instagram story or tweet out the link, and then people can listen to it without even and you still getting the audience, you still getting the attention you want without even having to download the app. I filed a patent for that. I filed a patent for.
I'm
I
on
filed a
here
patent
now,
for. I filed a patent for the subscriptions. Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing about me. Like, I'm a believer. Like Fanbase is going to be a multi-billion-dollar platform. I say this because I know the fastest way to build wealth in America or in the world right now is what? Tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tech is
Okay, so then what makes tech cool? Black people. So when you take black people in tech and put it under one domain, somebody's over the whole thing. Not prime example. Oh man,
bro, I'm looking at this.
Prime example, right? Prime example. Social media has changed now, right? Before it was cool. I literally saw a video of the Instagram CEO with these guys named I can't think of it. I think they have a podcast. They interviewed the CEO of Instagram.
You're not talking about white guys. They got
Colin and Samir.
Okay.
Colin and Samir. The first thing they sat down with and talked about the Instagram CEO with is the fact of how cool he dresses. You know what he had on? He had on a t-shirt and a chain and some jeans. You're cool. Now Mark Zuckerberg's doing it. Now Mark Zuckerberg's wearing cool ass t-shirts and chains. Because it's not cool to be the CEO with flip-flops and a hoodie on. And no, now the video, the culture's involved. We already cool. They trying to look like you. And they already got $100 billion company. They're still trying to look like us. Mm. That's the thing that's crazy to me. It's like, yo, and the thing about this is, and what I want to say to you and all the people watching is not, it's like this. It's not like this is a selfish goal for myself. We literally have over 15,000 investors that are invested in Fanbase. We could take 15,000 more and raise 70. And my point is, of those 15,000, the value of the company is going to continue to go up. I'm telling you, look, I just say it, look, don't be mad when Fanbase go public or somebody acquires and everybody's like, yo, I can't believe I didn't invest in that. Like, I didn't believe. But here's the thing. That's always the story, though.
Always.
How many people you think really believe Kanye was going to make Yeezys? How many people thought Kanye was even going to rap?
Facts. Yep. They told him he couldn't rap. They told him not to rap.
You're not a rapper.
You can't do designer stuff.
You can't design clothes.
Don't do this church stuff, man.
Right. Yeah. And every time he did it.
Yeah.
And that's what my point is. That's what it always is. If it was easy, right? If Fanbase was easy, everybody would do it. It would have been done already. This is one thing I know why it's hard. Black Planet was founded in like 2000. It's 2024. So between 2000 and the year 2024, I know for certain that there are thousands and thousands of black people that are smarter than me and have way more money than I do. So how come none of them have built a successful social media platform? Because this shit is hard. There's an understanding and attention to detail and an understanding of psychology, culture, technology that's all wrapped up in this that you do. Because if not, everybody could do it. Soulja Boy would already did it. Because Soulja Boy does everything first. to the point that the platform that Kai Cenat is on, Soulja Boy blew that up. You know the reason that Twitch exists is because of Soulja Boy and Bow Wow. You know that? You don't remember? You remember Ustream?
Yeah, I remember Ustream.
You remember Justin TV?
I don't remember that.
You remember Justin.tv? And so Justin.tv came along and blown up real big, and they said, you know what? We're going to make a video game streaming division. It was called Twitch. Blew up. Shut down Justin TV, sold to Amazon for $3 billion.
Damn. But
Soulja Boy and Bow Wow are the ones that blew up Justin TV. Now imagine if they own equity in Justin TV, and then they made Twitch, and then Twitch gets bought for $3 billion. And Soulja Boy and them had a little piece of company, they would have made 30, 40, 50, $100 million, $300 million off that thing. That is my point is, I'm telling you, this is the easiest legal flip of all time. It's legal. I can tell you right now as a businessman, what gives an app its value?
People.
Okay, cool. So if Fanbase has 10 million users, it's probably like a $5 billion app. But guess what? It's not right now. It's worth $160 million. But guess what you can do right now? You can go buy stock in Fanbase and then bring your people over to there and make it a $5 billion app. What's stopping anybody from doing that? I'm telling you that the conversation of collaboration in building wealth can no longer be competition. It's too many of us competing to be the only billionaire. I don't know how, I don't know what. I don't count nobody's paper. I don't know nobody's intentions. But I know there could be way more. We only have 10 black billionaires in the United States of America. I know we could have way more than that. We could easily have way more than that. And the fastest way to do that is them first 10 can help you do it. I'm not saying that they aren't, but them 10 could make another 100 if they wanted to. You don't think so?
No, I know so.
Right. You don't think they could all take like 10, 15, $20 million, put into a pot, start a venture fund, and then fund all these black businesses?
I know so.
Right. But that's what the other guys do. That's why they call the PayPal, Peter Thiel and all them, and Elon, all them, Jack Dorsey, all them own part of each other's company. That's what they do. Why are we not doing that? Because we so new to the wealth. We want to get rich and go hang out at Michael Rubin parties. No shade to Michael Rubin. I don't even know him. But I want to know, when is the Juneteenth all-black party at Tyler Perry's house with all the black billionaires? When is that party? I want to go to that party. I don't want to go to the Hamptons with Michael Rubin and all them people and just hang out with, Robert Kraft, who's a Trump supporter, and all these people and all these other people that don't know. I want to go where we swag surfing at? Where we really feel like we can really be at, and it's our paper. Like, where we at? Like, I don't want to. That's why I say I ain't leaving Atlanta.
Bro, this is fire, bro. You got me thinking about it. This is fire.
I'm here to change the minds and the perspectives of young people and people that watch this, because you got to understand how important this is. This is generational wealth we're talking about. This is like, we don't have, so, you know how, like, okay, I'll give you a prime example. X. Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been saying racist shit for the last year since he got X. He been slowly edging, talking about the election and all that kind of stuff. And we knew it was coming. Guess what Elon Musk did yesterday?
What?
2 days ago, he said, I'm creating a super PAC for Donald Trump, and I'm going to donate $45 million a month to his campaign.
What the?
Yeah. Well, no, why? Because Elon Musk is worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So my point is this. We don't have the richest black billionaire, I think, in the country is worth like 16 billion. I think Oprah it might be like 15, 16 billion. The richest black billionaire in the United States of America. Might be 16 billion. When Michael Bloomberg ran for president in 2020, you know how much money he spent on commercials and lost? $1 billion. Google it. Google how much money did Michael Bloomberg spend on commercials to run for president? It's going to say $1 billion. That's the kind of money I want. I want to be able to spend $1 billion on commercials and not even think about it. I want to be able to be like Elon Musk. I want to be able to spend $45 million to help the next black mayor of Atlanta and the next black governor and the next black president be president. See, that's what this money is for. Elon's taking that money so he can change laws to benefit him. That's what this all is about. If you ain't getting rich to change the law, that's what Atlanta was built off of. Atlanta exists like, where you from?
I'm from Baltimore.
Okay, cool. I know Atlanta feel a lot different than Baltimore.
Yeah, way different.
Because when you see this money, it's like,
yeah, it's way different.
It's black people with money down here.
It's funny because like I experienced the opposite. Like people in Atlanta, I feel like they give away the game. But
yeah,
I was just talking about this. I was like, I think what happens is in Atlanta is it is so much money. So if you're from Baltimore, in Atlanta, they can give you the scraps and it's still better than what you used to. Like here, they probably still wouldn't give you enough to pass them, like you're saying.
I would.
But I'm saying like, you said like most people in general.
Listen, I know for certain that. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to leave names out, but there are black businessmen in the music industry that I've known for at least 20 years that invested in a competitor to Fanbase and not Fanbase. And that competitor is out of business. And the CEO and founders of those companies were white people. So you put your money in the hands of these white tech founders and not a black dude that you know, and you lost your money. And we still here. Oh, I'm gonna be on my the confidence that I have the confidence of Kanye. I don't have the temperament, but I definitely got the confidence. Mark my words. Everybody that thinks that Fanbase not about to be, it's going to be the biggest thing you ever saw. You'd be like, yo, you'd be like, I remember when Isaac was sitting right here in this chair. I remember when Isaac was walking around with his Fanbase t-shirt on and telling people to invest and da-da-da-da-da. The same way that Kanye used to walk around with his tapes on a backpack or talk about his shoes or anybody that has a dream or an idea that nobody believes in. Because nobody believes in your ideas. Ain't nobody, again, people ain't believing you.
Nah, they didn't.
Right.
I say that all the time.
It's part of the journey. But my point is, it's supposed to be that way. Because it builds character. It makes you who you are. It gives you that fire and that confidence to keep going. You got to be tough or you'll give up. Like, man, I give up, man. It's all good. Nah, man.
Nah, this is fire, bro. Man, this is fire. Sheesh, you dropped mad game. Yo, hop on Fanbase right now. Like, we got hop on Fanbase. I got to get some followers, man. Follow me. I got the same username, Mr. _ J Hill.
Did you migrate your content?
Nah, not yet.
Send me a screenshot of your page.
Okay.
And I'll do it myself.
All right,
I'll migrate you from Instagram over.
All
and
right.
then hop in some audio. You know how to, like these kind of conversations, we should take, like when you do a podcast, you should like have this and do an extra one, like an audio room on Fanbase after the podcast. Because you know you can charge people to even be in your audio rooms. You have subscriber-based audio rooms. So they can't even get in the room without subscribing to be in the room.
Bro,
So
I'm going to be hitting you, bro.
So the real game, listen, I'm going to tell you, the people that wind up doing it are not, listen, here's the thing about.
Listen, I'm going to hit you when I need your help. So don't.
Here's the thing about rich folks. Rich folks are too rich. They too rich. They be thinking they know everything. And they don't understand. And they don't understand. They don't read the room. They don't understand the moves that they make are not the moves to make. And this is, again, I respect Swiss Beats and Versus more than anything in the world. But it looks crazy that Elon Musk is donating $45 million to a Trump super PAC and you just did a deal with him. And that's not taking a shot at them. That just looks crazy. Because Elon Musk will say stuff like, we need to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Google it. Again, everything that I say, research and see if Elon Musk says we need to get rid of diversity, equity, inclusion for black people. Right? We need to do that. Or you can rig an election like the election was rigged when we know it wasn't. Everything that all these little racist tropes that he gets into and does, and we rather be over there than Fanbase. Again, listen, like I said,
bro,
cool.
You got my support, bro. I'm thinking of ways. I was looking at it. I'm thinking of ways of how I can like.
Are you invested?
That's a conversation for another time.
No, it ain't. That's a conversation for right now. The minimum to invest in Fanbase is $399. To buy some shit, you get 60 shares of Fanbase stock for $399 at $665 a share at $160 million valuation right now. I keep telling, look, I'm over my phone right now. I ain't got that much electricity left.
Where we at, Kyron?
Look at this. I'm raising $17 million. I've already raised, what's that number? Read that number. How much have I raised already in this new round? This is a new round. How much have I already raised in this new round?
Damn.
Read the number.
It's $1,764,000.
Right.
And $578.32.
Right. And I'm raising $17 million. So there's still room for all y'all to get in there. And the minimum to invest in Fanbase is $399. I'm raising $17 million. Here's the thing that's crazy. There's 40 million black people in the United States of America. 40 million. No, 48 million. I'm sorry. I get it wrong. 48 million black people in the United States of America. I did this when we was at Podcast Summit. I'm raising $17 million. All I need is for 28,500 people to invest $600. That's $17,100,000. Out of 48 million black people in the United States of America, can we find 28,500 people to invest $600 and let's raise the $17 million and get up out of here? Because listen, I built. You know how much money Clubhouse has raised?
I think you said it.
No, they raised $100 million at $1 billion. In total, they've raised $300 million.
Damn.
At $300 million at a $4 billion valuation. $300 million. There was an app called Fan House.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
They raised $35 million out the gate. They already had a business. They spent their money 18 months. They gone. Do you know what I would do with $35 million? I've raised 10 so far, and it's been spread out over 3 or 4 years. You know what I would do with $35 million? You know what I'm gonna do with $17 million? You ain't, bruh. I played the music. You see how Facebook took the song? I showed you that at the thing. Like, yo, those are the things that I talk about. Like, it's an audio room on Fanbase right now. Look, this just like Clubhouse.
Right? Like, so it's not going to be, again.
And look, I'm finna leave the room. I'm finna leave the app and leave the room. I'm finna go on the internet. And I'm finna post the same link to the audio room on the web. Look, same room without even having to download the app. Look, listen.
It's only going to get better.
That's hard right there.
Look.
Of ambassadors, right? So
on the web without even having
Can
to
you close that web?
Huh?
Can you close that web and listen?
Oh, yeah. You mean like swipe up? Yeah, you can do that. Hold on.
Because I'm wondering if you could like still use your phone.
I think you can. But what's important is
we'll be moving from there, but I do want
that
to launch this program.
You don't have to even download the app to listen.
Right.
Within a month.
Well, I'm saying like people can multitask.
You just sit your phone down. I know what you mean. You want to continue to.
Yeah.
But see, look, I can build that. That ain't nothing. We build audio rooms.
That's fine. No, I like
if I want to
this.
join the room, if I join the room, look, it's gonna take me back to the room. It's gonna take me into the room.
Oh no, that's hard.
Look, and marketing team Q&A.
Bro, that's hard, bro. We gotta go. We gotta wrap this up.
So listen,
that's hard.
So this my call to everybody. My request, just to check this out, go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest in Fanbase. Just look at it. Just go check it out. The minimum to invest is $399. Your own part, especially young people. Most of the people that invest in Fanbase don't even use it. I want young people to invest in it and use it. You know how many people have invested in Fanbase, got on Fanbase, used Fanbase, made the money back by using Fanbase that they invested in, now they own part of the company for free? I can run off a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen people that have already made $399 just by using the app. Go to startengine.com/fanbase, invest in Fanbase, download the app. It's free to download, free to use. Make a profile, migrate your content from Instagram and TikTok. You're going to do the same thing. When we're done with this, I'm going to get you set up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go grab my laptop and migrate your content in front of your face. You'll be like, wow.
Let's do it, man.
I want you to see it.
Let's do it, bro. This is good, man. Isaac Hayes III.
Yes, sir.
J Hill, Mr. J Hill Podcast. Sheesh. If this is $1 million worth of game right here.
No, it was $100 billion worth of game.
$100 billion worth of game. We out. It's a wrap.
Yep.